Rise up and take your place before it is too late. Give to the world your hoarded arts. Be first and do not wait. Come forth and let your bright star shine before the world and men. Stand up for what you know is right. Keep not good thoughts within. Oh, who would be so selfish as to hide his talents great? Rise up and take your place in life and do not hesitate. Hello, my name is Brittany Brooks. Those are the words of Lois Lambert Reeves, as printed in the York Dispatch on April 14th, 1934. Lois Lambert Reeves was born on January 5th, 1917 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to Elijah and Eddie Crawford Lambert. She was one of 13 children. Her parents would move to York at a time when few Black students attended public schools. In January of 1932, Miss Lambert won a gold piece at the first annual oratorical concert sponsored by the Phyllis Wheatley Club at the Crispus Attucks Center in York, PA. Later that year, she would take second place in a similar contest sponsored by the Women's Club that was active in the suffrage movement to grant women the right to vote. The following year, teenager Lois Lambert was listed as a member of the Crispus Attucks Literacy Society, a member of Girl Scout Troop 4, and volunteered at the center to take care of primary children on Saturday mornings. At the time, she was attending William Penn Senior High School. Newspaper accounts from April 1934 describe Lois as one of the most prolific writers of verse at William Penn Senior High School. She was a staff writer for the York High Weekly. Her poems, including Rise Up and Take Your Place and Paths of Life, were published in the York Dispatch. 1935, Lois Reeves graduated from William Penn Senior High School. The African American students were honored by the Matron's Bridge Club of Crispus Attucks. Lois penned the 1935 class poem entitled The Changing Tide. That year, she headed off to West Virginia State College to continue her education. 4 years later, in 1939, Lois graduates from West Virginia State College with a degree in sociology and a minor in history. Upon graduation, she returned to York and began working at Crispus Attucks, also known as the CA. She was named the assistant director and later became director of women and girls activities at the CA. Reports credit much of her social skill building to Joanna Harris, also known as Aunt Jo, director of Moravian Playground of the city's Black youth and scout leader at the Crispus Attucks. A local street on the west end of York is now known as Aunt Jo Lane. Eager to continue her education, in 1941, Lois takes a leave of absence from the CA to complete a course at Oberlin College and ultimately leaves the CA to assume a position as Girl Reserve Secretary at the YWCA in Newark, New Jersey. The following year, she marries Lieutenant William Ivan Reeves in Newark, New Jersey. Mr. Reeves also had roots 1942 to 1955. Brought many changes. Lois Reeves moved with her husband and daughter as he became a minister. They were assigned to churches in Cleveland, Ohio, Boston, Massachusetts, and Atlanta, Georgia. Reaching another milestone in 1955, Lois graduates with her master's in sociology from Atlanta University in Georgia, an African American college. The family next moved to Tuskegee, Alabama. The teenager, who was active in the Phyllis Wheatley Club in the 1930s, would be cited in a 1961 article in which she was one of several federal witnesses for the Justice Department to show discrimination experienced by African Americans in efforts to register to vote in Macon County, Alabama. While serving as the director of the Tuskegee Institute's YMCA and YWCA in 1962, Mrs. Lois Reeves goes abroad on an 11-week European and Southeast Asia travel studies seminar. Active during the Civil Rights era, many have written accounts of Lois Reeves leading the Tuskegee YWCA delegates at the March on Washington. Lois's husband, Reverend William Ivan Reeves, died in Alabama in 1969, but she didn't slow down. For a period of time, she served as director of the King Kennedy Golden Age Center. Local York newspapers wrote about Lois Reeves in 1984. At the time, she was a volunteer member of the Institute of Cultural Affairs based in Chicago, while she continued to travel the world. Mrs. Reeves was now back in York for her longest stay in 45 years to help care for her mother. Not one to rest, Lois Lambert Reeves helped organize a neighborhood group in her hometown and targeted an area of the city to stress the importance of programs for young people. The Friends of Lebanon Cemetery honors Lois Lambert Reeves during the 2021 Women's History Month. Her words from high school laid the foundation for a lifetime of service. Rise up and take your place.